Hi everyone, Karen Alari here. Hey, I just wanted to do a little short video about these daily paintings to inspire you to try this idea of doing a small, quick painting take about an hour, use a larger brush and just 5 by 7, 6 by 6, a small format. And some of the benefits we get out of doing this are learning to move quickly, make quick decisions, get away from the detail for a minute and just do some practicing over and over in composition and getting a good start and editing down to the most important parts of your painting. And for me, it was really a place that I wanted to loosen up some more and stop worrying so much. I get into these little habits of worrying about, oh, what shall I paint next? And will it work out? Will it not? So this is just kind of a vacation to try something new, try something unusual that you wouldn't normally do, maybe some color choices, some color harmonies, maybe some subjects that you don't normally do. Just open up the box and let yourself be creative and try something new and have some fun. Again, you only want to take about an hour to paint these, 2 hours at the absolute most. But the idea is just to loosen up. So another thing I'm doing is I'm using open acrylics. Golden makes something called open acrylics, which stay wet quite a bit longer than the regular ones. So that gives you some ability to adjust your edges and do blending, which is really nice. You can't do the layering that I usually have been showing you how to do and usually use as my techniques. So again, it's just something that I'm trying to break out of my box a little bit and inspire my creativity, and hopefully you'll join along with me and do some of these daily paintings. And if you can't to it every day, that's okay too. The idea is just real often, as often as you can, a shorter period of time, and have fun. So I wanted to just show you some little ideas with this one. This is my most the one I finished today, and I'm calling it Mailbox. How creative, huh? So what I did, just to maybe inspire you or help you figure out where to get started, um, the first thing that you want to do with, um, and which I kind of tend to avoid doing, is these little thumbnail sketches, they're called. And this is half size. So since I'm doing a 5 by 7, this is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So I get the right proportion. And this is just done super quickly, like a minute or two in pencil. And the idea is just to play with your composition a little bit, get your dark, medium, and light areas figured out, and just get your 3, 4, 5 major elements edited down and decided. So for me in this one, I have my light area. Here, let me show you real quick. This is the reference photo that I used. And so that's what I'm working with in terms of what I want to compose. So, so I've got the light area here. This is going to be that light green spring branches here. You got the red mailbox, this whole background area here, and then you have this light path with its shadows and light that are in here. So those are the major elements I'm working with, and all I'm trying to decide is dark, medium, and light. Not anything more than that. And you want to make these in unequal proportions. So this whole painting is going to be predominantly medium, and then second is going to be light, and then a small amount of dark. So it's important that your dark, medium, and light not be equal. You don't want a third dark, a third medium, and a third light. You get my idea? That's just a compositional idea. And I've talked about composition a lot in my other ones, so I don't want to get bogged down in that. But super important to try to do these little thumbnails. Just take a couple minutes and work out your ideas and your thoughts. A lot of times I'll make little notes over to the side on my paper just to say, something like you know, where the focal point is, or some little notes I want to make for myself about the painting. Then the next step that I do is just like the other ones, and what I've been doing, this is my little 5x7 canvas here, and my reference photo, and I put a base coat down in regular acrylic so that it would dry really quickly and I wouldn't have to wait for that to dry. So this is just kind of a medium tone uh, neutralized purple, somewhere about where these shadow colors are going to be. I'll talk about that more, about choosing a color for your to tone your canvas with, but in this case I just chose that color. So then with open acrylics, one thing I'm really finding is they're much like oils in that they stay wet. So this all stays wet. So I can come back here and lay in these background areas and get these nice blends, blend them together. But if there's an area that I want to keep clean in color, like this green area, you really need to start with those areas that are going to be the easiest to muddy up. Anything that you want to stay clear and light, you want to start and lay those down, and then you can work around them. But when you have working in a wet on wet atmosphere like you do with open, you can't you everything you put down is going to mix with what's underneath it. So if you want something to stay a bright chromatic color or a very light color, you want to get that in right away and not put dark underneath it. So that's important. So I've just blocked in my big areas, and I've started just to create a mottled cool blues and greens and purpley colors back here in the background. I really didn't want any detail in here at all. It's just kind of the supporting player in this one. So then I just moved along. Again, I put in this major element here first so that I don't get it muddied up. And you'll notice I didn't have that spot here, but another thing you can do with open acrylics is that I just took my palette knife and just scraped that area out. Scraped the paint right off the palette because it's all still wet, so that I could put this red in without it mixing with these colors back here, because that would just turn to mud. So just laying in some, using just that bigger ½ inch or so wide flat brush, and laying in my big spaces, starting to put some lights in here and some darks on top of this to start to create these shadow areas. And that's all I did, was just build this up step by step, and thinking about big shapes, thinking about big areas. I wanted this to be a lighter area, like the sun is coming down this way, so I used some of these light golden colors. I really had to stop myself from doing detail on this little mailbox because I wanted to, but that's not what this is about. It's just about starts, and it's about big open spaces, big brushes, and loose brush strokes. And in doing that, I came up with this little painting. It took about an hour of painting time, and it's a great deal of fun. Really, these are a lot of fun, and I super encourage you to join me with this and give it a try, whether you're using open acrylics or regular or watercolor or pastel, anything really that you want to try to do. But this, getting these you know, all these fresh starts, it's all about doing starts and doing being adventurous and experimenting. That's experimenting and no detail. So let's have some fun and do these together. Talk to you soon.